Welcome in, everyone, to the Challenge After Show. Today, it is our holiday special, and we are talking about the Challenge reunion. Yes, we're all very festived out, and we're all ready to show you what we have in store, and that is an amazing, oh my goodness, an amazing reunion to talk about. Some good, some bad. I'm going mostly bad, but I'm going to let you guys
Wait, I wanted
decide
to
what you think.
there because you said amazing reunion, and I was like, "Oh, Dan, did you think it was amazing, or was that sarcasm?"
It was very sarcastic, Jenna. I'm glad you picked up on it. I got Jingle Jenna and P something from Christmas that's with P for Pam. Pastor Pam.
I know. I was trying to think of something too.
And Dashing Daniel. Dashing Daniel can be here.
Dashing Daniel, Jingle Jenna, and hold on. Now I wanna
Prophecy Pam? No.
Prophecy. That's pretty good though.
Doesn't make any sense.
Pecan Pie Pam.
Pecan pie, pumpkin pie.
Pecan pie Pam.
Yeah.
We're all got our we all have our holiday beverages.
I'm having Holiday Blend by Dunkin' Donuts. This is not an ad, but if they would like to be featured on our YouTube channel where we have only 100 subscribers, that would be fantastic. Bring Dunkin'.
We have 835 actually.
All right, 835 is almost 100 more than when we started.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
I'm drinking Holiday Blend by Starbucks in my Wonder Wheel from, this was my Seattle. We didn't buy any souvenirs because we were traveling light. So I was like, I guess I'll keep the cup they gave us our spiked vodka in up on the Wonder Wheel.
Very nice.
Dan, what is your drink?
I'm drinking
Holiday Blend from Starbucks.
Thank you, Pam. Sorry, Dan.
D for Dan. Oh, not Pam. I see where
Dashing Daniel.
Hood Golden Eggnog. Now, Hood, you can barely find anywhere else besides New England. I'm at my grandma's house here in Worcester, Massachusetts. If anyone wants to drop by right now, I'll be there for the next week.
Maybe Cora and CT are there in Worcester, Mass. Around.
They are. They could be just east of me in Boston. You're right. They could be.
I'm like,
I know. Drop the address.
I know how popular Hood is, but I went to school in Boston and people had like Hood shirts and there's like a lot of fish references to Hood. Anyway.
What the hell is Hood?
Hood is
the brand.
It's like, anyway, but Prancing Pam.
Oh, that's better.
Prancing, yeah.
Because then we're all a movement more because I'm dashing. I don't know how to dash.
Dashing. Yeah, we're all kind of reindeer then.
Jingle. Although I think Pam's outfit right now is the cutest, and you're like Jingle Pam because you have the little bells on there.
Yes, and when we opened up a little pre-show for y'all, Pam was just in her regular location, and she put this all together for you, the fans at home, to make it happen for our big holiday podcast for the Challenge reunion. Now, the podcast they put it out there as if it was going to be like this 3-hour after show or this reunion, right? But then we all watched it and we saw that it was only 2 hours, and then they re-showed All Stars yet again after it. And you, Pam, you asked me like, what's up with that? And I think that they literally have no viewers for the Challenge anymore, and they're trying anything they can do to promote another show that they know is doing better, and that is All Stars on Paramount Plus. They're like, oh my God, no one has Paramount Plus though. What do? I guess we just got to keep airing it on MTV, hoping that someone will like that, because the Challenge 37 was a bunch of crap.
Dan, are you saying that even though they brought Tatcha to the reunion, who has millions of social media subscribers, it wasn't enough to get the ratings for the reunion?
Pam, do you think that MTV even airs in the country that she's from?
Allegedly, it does not. So the point of having her on their show and on their reunion that doesn't air in the country she's got 20 million followers doesn't make sense to me, but maybe they're trying to get it but picked up there. Is that what we figured out?
I mean, I'm entirely again in agreement of not pursuing the Instagram famous people to put on this show. Let's bring real people in. Let's bring people who actually have jobs outside of this that aren't just trying to give the sound bites that they think producers want so they get a call back. But that being said, I did enjoy Tatcha this season. I had her on my fantasy team because I play Fantasy Challenge with friends and my sister.
I can't believe you're just telling us this about the fantasy things. I've wanted to know how to do. We have questions for you later. Keep going. Sorry.
But I did enjoy Tatcha, and I thought like her emotion was raw with her and Tori. She was heated. We talked about it. So I like her, but
I think she's horrendous, but we'll get there in a second. Like actually fucking awful. There's these people, and I bet isn't 20 something, but I wanted to be positive because let me start off by saying we started off negative.
we're like Merry Christmas, F everybody.
Right. Not everybody, only some people.
Okay.
I actually thought it was super amusing. I really enjoyed the entire reunion until an alien, which I didn't give a shit about.
Oh my God.
They covered, the season was boring, but they hit on all the good stuff. And I thought Maria like knocked it out of the park.
Dynamite.
Like not just did okay, but like obviously watches and has opinions and knows things, because there was like low key shade thrown at. Like you could tell she knew what was up, and it was like, right, but you know, like she asked questions that a real viewer would ask, not just like someone that got a list of questions. She seemed to know what was up, and it was like, well, did you spread yourself too thin? Like I thought she really did a fantastic job.
I completely agree. I think she is the cream of the crop of television hosts. Like confidence, being comfortable enough that she's, like you said, she's picking up on things, that she can make things conversational. She can ask follow-up questions, almost like this is a reality TV show. It's not journalistic, you know, but she has sort of like journalistic type approaches where she's like, wait, no, like, let's talk more about that. I'm not just going to read the next question on the cue card, you know, like she's like, hold up. You're not listening to that person, but she's saying this. I don't know. I really liked it. And I understand where people might want people who are on the show. Like Devin Simone is amazing, and I get that. But we also have to remember Maria has been doing the after shows or the reunions for the challenge for a very long time. Like he goes back to when Derek was the contestant, not on All Stars, like when it was Derek, Darrell, CT, Paula, Tina, like all of them on seasons together. She dates all the way back to those times doing reunion shows. So she knows what she's doing on these reunions.
Yeah, you girls nailed it. There's a couple highlights from this after show. Overall, I thought it was 2 hours of garbage that I had to sit through, and I was so upset by it. But the first highlight was Maria. I thought she was excellent. Maria, our former boss at AfterBuzz, I thought she did great. She handled herself well. She clearly knew what she was talking about, unlike some of these football players they keep bringing in, who it's like, okay, they showed them clips ahead of time, like right before they went on, and said, okay, you got to mention this and this. Maria, she did her research. She either watched the season or she just made sure she watched the season and all in one sit down. But she did it. She did her homework. The second only other thing that I liked about it was trying to stay positive. Pam, positive Pam, wanted to stay positive to start this thing off.
Scrooge Daniel.
Definitely Scrooge Daniel for sure on this after show. The only other positive was Amanda. I thought she was amazing. I loved her calling out Fessy. Amanda was and yep, I know Pam hated Amanda in this. Amanda is the only thing that the challenge has going for it. If we wanted to go back to the old ways, no, not like the athletic stuff, because she can't do that. I'm talking about the drama, the fun aspect of like people actually be able to like diss on each other and not get kicked off.
Right.
And the one thing I didn't like that Maria said tonight was she said, and I wrote it down, we're breaking down all the drama from the season, is what she says at the beginning of this after show. Oh, Maria, you didn't mention why Ashley left. You didn't mention why, no, I'm dead serious, why Lauren left, and she was literally edited out of the entire season. That's all the drama. That's the breakdown. That honestly, don't we want to see the stuff that's not shown in a reunion? Not all the stuff that we already know about. So I'm very upset.
Talk about it, like, and then Ashley left, like.
It wasn't mentioned, Pam. It wasn't even mentioned.
The one time Ashley was mentioned, it was in regard to a possible hookup, which Josh is denying the shit out of. But everyone is like, Josh, you hooked up with her in plain sight. Let's not lie. But he's very adamant.
He hooked up with Huey too. Don't forget.
Ashley did, or Josh did?
They said, Nelson, you were mad because Ashley was making out with Huey. And I was like, it all makes sense now. Because when the big lie about them hooking up, I'm like, there's no way they hooked up. And then I was like, oh, okay. They might have made out at a bar drunkenly.
Yeah. If Nelson's mad about that, Nelson.
He's not. He wasn't mad about
that.
Okay.
Interesting point though, Dan. We'll get into Amanda more. I think Amanda is just one of those people, like you want her on your side. If you like, if I don't know, if you're valid in your stance, and so is Amanda, you want her on your side because she does have tunnel vision. Like, I don't think she tries to kind of see a balancing view on things, you know, like her thought is her thought and she's gonna fight for that. So
but don't you if you like Amanda as a character on the show, don't you like that she stands her ground no matter what? Because it kind of, at least if you're a fan of hers, it makes you more of a fan of hers. And like we always say, we want half the people to like us and half the people to hate us. That's what drives ratings.
Amanda has that.
Yeah,
Amanda has that.
It just, and we'll get there. My bottom line on her is that if you've got these principles, her principles and the way she judges Tori so harshly on all this stuff and hates her are bullshit. It's fake. It's like, oh, but you like Fessy, who's such a freaking liar. Talk about fake. Talk about, changing their mind. Do you think Nelly wouldn't have fought for Berna? If Corey and Berna, he wouldn't have supported both or not said any. The point is, it's like, oh, she changes her rules when she likes someone. She doesn't like Tori. Fair, but it's like, back off. Amanda's MO is to always fight with. She hated Camilla, she hated Laurel, she hated Cara. She always hates the strong girl, and that's her storyline. She's not a good competitor, and she makes it loud. And usually it's fun because they fight back or they pranked her. I feel like Tori's a nice girl. I feel like Jenna, it's like if it was you and Amanda was just like breaking apart your every move. It's like, I didn't ask for this. I'm not fighting with you. I don't talk about you. It's veered over into mean to me at this point, where it's not amusing and it's become like ugly to watch. Where when it's Camilla and she's fighting back and it's like, fuck you, and two screaming beasts, it's funny. But I feel like Tori's like this nice person that's like, she doesn't like me, having this like enemy out there spitting vitriol about me and character assassinations. It's like, I feel like it's gone past fun with the Tori stuff. And
that's fine though, Pam. I'm also talking about her with the Fessy stuff I thought was entertaining. And then also her side comments I think are really entertaining. She says to Josh, Claire's Jewelers was absolutely phenomenal, because we all knew Claire's Jewelers when we were kids. And the fact that to imagine a 30-year-old, I think he's probably only 29 though, Josh, a 29-year-old wearing Claire's jewelry, what a great line from Amanda. So that's the stuff I'm talking about.
That's something that's very light, but I'm such a sensitive ass person that I was like, that's kind of messed up, because Claire's Jewelers is like $2 a necklace. I'm like, damn, you're really dogging him, especially someone.
Well, it's funny though, because she said she saw it in there. It's like, so Amanda, you're clearly shopping in Claire's. Like, she sort of dogged herself. It was kind of funny. It's like,
oh, I see. Okay.
Like, I don't know what Claire's is. Like, he should have been like, what Claire's? Like,
to your point, Pam, like, there's definitely certain things about Amanda where I appreciate that she is firm in her stance, right? Like, she's not someone who's like super wishy-washy. And it's a sort of thing where, like, listen, she has a perception of Tori, and that's her perception, and not everyone is meant to like everybody else. So if she's just not vibing with Tori, fine, whatever. She can have her views on that, and that's fair enough. But similar to what you're saying, I feel like she does get choosy. Like, she gets a little bit, like, she kind of, instead of having an unbiased view at times, she kind of like manipulates the situation into thinking every waking thing Tori does is fake. But it's like, you don't have to overthink everything this girl does, like, now you're really just trying to like fuel that fire of
exactly. And Tori's not fighting back, which is why I think it's mean. Tori's not like, fuck you. Tori's like, you don't have to like me, but having like an enemy out there just makes me uncomfortable. Like, that makes sense to me. It's like, I'm not telling you to like me and to be.
Yeah.
I think with Tori, I think that she's very willing and open to being friends with anybody. So and she doesn't have a real reason for hating Amanda besides the fact that Amanda hates her. So she doesn't have any juice to fight back on, really, because she doesn't really care. So that's why that argument stemming back and forth isn't that great. But the other stuff with Amanda, I think, outweighs it. And also, who else in that after show was
for sure?
But tell me, who else in that after show was entertaining last night? Please give me names of people, and I might agree with it, but I can't.
Devin and Kyle, and Kyle's teeth.
Okay, but how about from the female perspective, though? Honestly, that's just something that he looks like. He has big teeth now, and they're white, but that's not him saying anything. From the female perspective, who was entertaining?
Devin and Kyle's were, I think, low key clowning Amanda, and I thought it was funny.
What about other girls besides Amanda?
No,
Please,
no
I
other
can't.
girls.
That's the problem then.
Tatcha and how Nani and Casey were I was team Nani, Casey, Maria. I mean, there was some, I thought the thing was, yeah, Amanda's Amanda. She's going to bring entertainment, no doubt.
So that's my point of thank God she was there. That's why Maria
yeah.
and Amanda, I thought, ran the show last night, and it was great.
Sure.
For that aspect. Only in that aspect, by the way.
But the other thing, like if you watch, like Amanda's like, oh, Tori, you talk about me. If you don't, it's like, watch the season, Amanda. Not once while you're sitting there obsessed with Tori. Not ever once is Tori like mad at you, except for like,
but
no,
I
she's
think
not
what's so
talking
hard,
about you.
what's so difficult for us is that we make our own perception of these people just based off the episodes and maybe some social media things here and there. All three of us are not like heavily attached to the social media parts of this show. And I think people realize that in the comments. They're like, you're not really seeing a lot of this stuff. I don't know. I'm not as much invested into that. Although if I go down the rabbit hole, I can be. But the thing is, there's the show, there's the edit, there's social media, and then there's all of that stuff that happens outside of it. There's texting that sometimes we get receipts for, but then there's also person-to-person conversations where things become a he said, she said, or she said, where people have their own views of something. If somebody tells you something, you might take offense to it when they never meant it that way. So there's all of these conversations that are happening. And we saw this with Casey and Amber B, which I found interesting. We got a little background insight on Amber B during quarantine, yelling off of her balcony, fuck Big Brother, and Casey having a certain interpretation of that, and all these things. So it's like, we really just try to formulate our own opinions, and we do naturally. We can't help it. We start to either love or hate Amanda. We all have a feeling on her, but it's based on certain things that we only know a quarter of. We don't even know the half of it, So, I mean, we just got to play along, but there's so much stuff that we just don't know what else is playing into it when it comes to everybody else's opinion.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I just think it's interesting that even though I think, Pam, you didn't like a lot of what Amanda said, we've been talking about Amanda for 20 minutes, so there's clearly something there.
Sure, the most entertaining.
She is it. She was the moment, right? She was like the only thing happening at the reunion.
Because here's the thing is like, I wrote down every single versus like Emmy versus Berna, etc. I wrote them all down, and we can try to have a conversation about each one. I don't think any of us, it's going to be called a nothing burger, right? My famous catchphrase on this show. It's all a nothing burger. There's nothing to it. And that's the other thing. We knew most of what happened with a lot of these fights. They just re-showed these things like, okay, we already know all this. Give us more details. And all he did was repeat what they said in confessionals. So there's nothing to talk about with it.
Yeah, you're right. Like in the grand scheme of things, they are nothing burgers, but the fact that we do this and we do commentary, when I'm sitting, it makes me put so much more stock into this stuff. But yeah, I bet you if I was just watching this on any other Wednesday evening, I'd be like, can I watch something else? But the fact that we do this makes me try to find stories and emotions within this stuff.
I had feelings about all of it.
But at the end of the day, my biggest takeaway from watching the reunion was I feel like everyone has a lot of high emotions. This is no joke for people anymore. This is truly basically their careers, right? There's so many friendships involved, because it's not as though people are on 1 or 2 seasons and then you never see them again, or they come back after 6 years. They're on every single season. They're with the same people, same friends, colleagues, associates, whatever you want to call it. This is a high stress environment. It feels like high school, and it almost literally makes me uncomfortable when I think about it too much. When I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't know, man. These people, we're in our 30s now, me included. I'm about to be 30. These people are in their mid 30s. This is really too high school, the type of drama, the maturity level. There's some things that just stress me out that I don't know. I feel like we just need to.
Right. Again, kudos to all of them, because I'm not built for that either. I couldn't go, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, for the social stress, it's oh my God, just the scrutiny more now that it's the world. But speaking of.
Yeah, it feels like none of them are able to mature and grow in their lives, because it's nope, we're back to high school drama, Even though, there were some really embarrassing moments, but with the Berna
Emmy, can we start there? Berna Emmy.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
It's like blah. My notes are like blah blah. Shut up. Whatever. Emmy won. Like who gives a shit? Emmy did the right fucking won literally. And it's like Nelson again. Nelson was getting on my last nerve too on this. He's like they were sisters. Like Nelson, stop being the most pure-hearted, naive puppy in the puppy pound puppy.
He
like,
is
like,
though. He really is.
home. Yeah, like come on, little Nelson. Looking.
It's not a facade though. I think he's
not, but it's like,
not.
come on, Nelson. That's why you're never gonna win. I'm sorry, you're never ever gonna win if you're playing with your heart that hard. It's like they were sisters. Emmy even was like, sisters. What? Like we met 2 weeks ago.
I don't think that's the reason he's not going to win, though, Pam. I think it's okay that he wants to stick up for Berna and whatever. I think he's not going to win for things we talked about in the finale last week.
I can't imagine being like, no, I won't pick him, and then picking him. It's like. Even CT was like, well, sometimes you don't want to reveal what you're going to do because it's better to not give them. It's like,
I know, but then we also say things about Nelson, the mistakes he made. Apparently he had sex with Ashley in the house and then he's trying to go after Berna the next day. Is that something that happened later?
Remember her at the club? I'm catching feelings. And then you see that he's talking to Berna about remember the quick edit?
No, but tonight, didn't they he admitted that he had done stuff with Ashley in the house, right? And then he's going after Berna the next day or something.
Yeah, they were like, she said they just kissed, and he was like, I lied. Like he couldn't even.
He lied. He straight up lied. He said, so we say all these nice things about Nelly, but then he does things like that. So what's to say that he can't go behind someone else's back in a gameplay position as well, if he has to?
Listen, this is where the lines continue to get so blurry. It really just depends on what side of the fence you're on and who you are in the situation. Like Emmy and CT were playing a game. And that's fair enough, right? Like they won.
Like it was a good move. Shut up, Berna.
It's a good move.
He didn't want to be partners with you.
But
and
also,
like that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Sure, it's a game, it's a strategy, and you don't have to lay out your cards. You don't have to answer to anybody. However, if you're Berna, you might be like, I actually confronted both of you head on, face to face, and you both lied and you made me feel embarrassed. You made me feel like an idiot. So her point is valid too. That's why it literally just depends what shoes you're in.
Right. And asking at that point, I agree. It's like, yeah, sorry, we did that. Would do it again. Sorry, it hurt.
That's the game. And that's the game. Yeah.
Moves were made.
The next one is Tatcha versus Tori. If you want to get, I know Pam probably has something to say on Tatcha versus Tori. That's the next topic that came up.
Tatcha is a ridiculous, everything wrong with the world. Everything wrong with MTV right now. She's a ridiculous, like for everything from her, she's a character, a social media animaton sitting in this thing that had the fight with Tori was bullshit. She knows it. Making drama. She had a line like, throw your hair back, that she kept saying, like, twist your hair to the side, or
that was the worst part of her tonight for sure.
And that was it. And she had nothing to say. They showed Tori going, good, I'll do what I can. Tori and her have no relationship, first of all. They don't know each other. They're not friends. It's customary to go, oh, who do you want? We'll take that into consideration. And then you shook my hand like they pack oath. We already went over this. It's another nothing.
I know.
She said, I'll do what I can within
She said she would try her best.
Within my circumstances.
Right. So Tatcha doesn't have a leg.
It's like, thanks
doesn't have a leg to stand
on. And I'm still going to do whatever I want. That's the deal. And then she's like, so I blocked you on Instagram, but you could have found me. And Tori's like, that to me is like, it's like you could have pursued me harder to apologize if you really cared, even though I blocked you. And I thought Tori she's like, to me, if you block someone, that's like a boundary you're putting up. And I don't what do you want me to do? Like find out your contact and it's like, first of all, I'm not that sorry. Second of all, that became a big deal because Tatcha had nothing else. So that was her moment in the sun to be like, fuck you, Tori, you're a snake. It's like, okay, sure.
You're a snake for literally playing your best game to win $1 million and doing whatever.
It worked. And it's like, I don't owe you anything. That's where it's not even like a betrayal. It's like, fuck you.
She never promised Tori anything. That's why this is ridiculous.
For coming to talk to me. Like, have you watched this show? Everybody talks to the person to take their.
But this is why it was so hard for me to watch this reunion, because this conversation is so cut and dry. There's it's hard to even have an argument on Tatcha's side. I can't stand that they brought her in for they thought like, oh, we have to talk about her and Tori. That was such a nothing thing. I can't even. So this, but anyways, if you want to, I got the next one ready.
I was recently watching.
There's a million. That's what Amanda said. Tatcha has 20 million followers in her country. That's her point. That's her role. That's why she's at the reunion. Fucking good. We don't give a shit. It has nothing to do with anything. She didn't.
Tatcha will never be on this show again. If they bring her back, they are doing exactly the opposite of what they should be doing, and that is getting entertaining people to be on the show. Because whatever Tatcha's drama she tried to stir up with Tori, it wasn't something that we can grab onto and say, "Oh my God, Tatcha has a point there." Oh, and all.
Right. It was a one-sided stupid thing. It's like you play, and then so obviously Tatcha knows how to be on TV, and she turned her one moment of being of losing.
But that's my question though. These producers know that there has to be sides taken. People have to jump on Tori's side or Tatcha's side. And that's how the producers are usually good about it. They usually get 50 people here, 50% of the people here, and they're good. But who the hell last night, can we think of any, please, in the comment section below, tell us if you were on Tatcha's side for that conversation with Tori. Now, I guess if you're a big Tori hater, maybe they can get some sprinkling over there. But even if you're a Tori hater, Tori never gave her any promises. She said, I'll see what I can do. That's not a...
It's in black and white. And then even Tatcha being like, you didn't have to come to me as a friend and ask me then. It's like Tatcha really grasping straws and they're being lifted out of your hand as you grasp.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's a part of the trend that we keep talking about. That's changing in the last 4 to 5 seasons. This has become the new trend where people are like, overwhelmingly insulted when they have to go into elimination, when the rules of the game are, this is a game show. If you're new, it's very, very likely you're going to go into the elimination. So this is something that's been done since the dawn of time with these shows, and I was just watching Free Agents, and this same exact situation happened with Camilla and Naya, where Camilla won and Naya was a rookie, and Camilla went to her and she was like, honestly, I'm making my rounds to the rookies. If I make a deal with you and you promise never to throw me in, who would you like to see? But she also did that to LaToya, who was a rookie, and Camilla vibed more with LaToya and liked LaToya's deal better. So she said, Naya, I'm sorry, it has to be you going in. And Naya wasn't like, but you came to me.
Right.
Came to me. And it sounded like you were going to throw me a bone. And that was kind of Tatcha's reaction. So it's just like, it's that new trend where Naya understood, okay, I still am not owed anything. I'm a rookie. This wasn't really a deal. This was a preliminary conversation, but Tatcha saw it differently. So, I mean, really the only argument in Tatcha's defense is the way, again, perception, the way she saw that interaction. If Tatcha saw that as Tori is not going to throw me in, I'm clean, I'm
She was already going in. It was that Tori didn't give her who she wanted.
Right, sorry.
Which is even more obnoxious.
Favor for me, yeah. Then she could feel so like offended by it, but I mean, that's just, that's not that much.
I would go so far. So this is when Fessy just looked really, when he was trying to fight CT, and CT was
Fessy, oh my God.
Not interested. These Big Brother people, not Casey though, Polly included, we see are just these social, it's like, that'll so, like that's the way they think now. All these social
money, yeah.
Right, like if we box, that would sell, man. It's like
so gross. Wait, can we talk while we're on this moment? Nelson, this was like the shining moment of the night for me. He actually said something so funny where Fessy was saying like, this will sell, man. And I had to delete it because CT was still competing in the show. And Nelson was like, yeah, CT just won $1 million. And you reach out like, hey man, I lost. So like, want to box me? And Nelson was like, really
want to help me make money?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Like making a dig at Fessy, being like, Fessy, how fucking stupid do you sound? Like,
right.
Make this stupid, goofy boxing fight happen when CT's busy winning $1 million.
Yeah, and poor Fessy was so embarrassing. Yeah, he like doubled down. He's like, well, say what you want, but that's what the people want to see.
Well, like, look, honestly, if MTV aired Fessy versus CT boxing, we would all watch it. That is true. 100%. We'd be rooting for CT to knock his ass out. And you know it and he knows that he's considered a villain for sure with all the stuff he does, especially tonight with all the stuff we're about to talk about with him and Amanda and all the dirty, dirty dog shit he was doing with Amanda.
So
we would all love to watch CT versus him and him get his butt kicked. So he is onto something, but to advertise it on the reunion like that, it's like, dude, just if you want to talk about it with CT, it's still so like, but at least he's trying to do something.
It's a weird phenomenon because I feel like we've done that with all of these Paul brothers and their boxing fights. Like whichever Paul, I think it was Logan that was like chirping up Floyd Mayweather and then they got a fight. It's like none of us wanted to do it, but we all still did. You know, like none of us, we were like, no, we can't pay money. We can't watch that fight. We're giving them what they want. But like we still did it, you know? So I guess it's the kind of thing with Fessy and CT where it's like, yeah, I would watch because I do want CT.
CT wouldn't do it. That's the point. CT's like not interested. Thanks. I have $1 million. Like,
well, he also has too much. He has too much to lose as well because if he does, if he loses to Fessy, that's an issue.
But also doesn't need to do that. That is again,
of course not. But he's also
and one person's not.
There's no point. He can't chance it and go to his level and lose.
Yeah.
He can't chance that.
He doesn't need to. Fessy needs to make some dollars.
But I have a funny sidebar of a story. When I was living in LA and I would fly home to be with family on like hiatuses during summer and winter break, my mom, because I love to bring her into these shows and talk about her love for the challenge. When I landed at the airport, I asked if she wanted to go to dinner. She said no, because she'd already eaten that weekend. So she was full from eating that weekend because it was a Sunday. And 2, CT's wedding was on TV.
Right.
So she would have rather watch CT's wedding than hang out with her daughter who she hadn't seen in 6 months. So
get takeout together and watch it together. I say get takeout.
And CT's wedding is on. I got CT's wedding. I gotta watch. And I was like,
you can always, and you can record that nowadays too. I get it.
I like that those are her shows though. That's good.
I was like, understood, Mom. Sick. I'll just go like, okay, yeah.
Ladies, are you watching?
Drive-through.
Are you watching a Fessy versus Josh boxing match?
No, don't care.
No, because you don't like either of them. I'm trying to think of other ones you might watch because that one, they are friends, so it probably wouldn't happen. But at least they're on the same level. Famous wise, where it would be a benefit for both of them. I'm just trying to think of other ones.
I don't
really want anybody.
I'd watch Paulie versus.
Really?
Josh.
I just want them to do cool challenges, you know?
I'd watch boxing stuff. I think it'd be fun.
I don't know about boxing personally, so there's no one.
But it's not about the boxing. It's more about who's going to get laid out. But anyways.
But it's not going to be so amateur though, is the thing. Like boxing, it's not a brawl. It's not a street.
They would, if they're smart, they prep with they hire a boxing coach who teaches them all the basic moves. And then they at least look.
Still going to be.
I watched a fight to the death between CT and Fessy, but that's all.
We're so dark on this holiday weekend. My God.
Are we thinking
the last duel? I'm still into the last duel. If I'm going to watch a fight, I want someone's bloody head being dragged away at the end.
So my question is like, do you want CT Fessy Hunger Games or CT Fessy A Knight's Tale? And
or a Hunger Games for sure, because I don't want to see, I don't care. The overproduced, I don't want to see Fessy get out and like different outfit switches between the thing. And like take a light punch to the face with like a head thing around. I don't want a protected fake televised fight. If we're gonna watch something like that, let CT slay him.
Oh my God, violence. Merry Christmas. Can we talk about
Amanda? Right, Tori and Amanda.
Can we talk Fessy and Amanda?
I'd like to talk that because there's a bunch more that happens before that, but I don't care about it. But it's up to you.
I don't either. Blah blah. Don't care. Where most of my notes, like the bird, like it's like I just don't care. It was so far long ago, and it was nothing then.
Can I just list them real quick of what happened next?
Yes.
Amber being fake had a whole section on why Amber's fake.
Oh right.
Awful. Pizzagate got brought back up with like literally garbage again.
Wait, I like the Pizzagate because they did the cute little suspect list. That was funny. I giggled.
The suspect list was well produced. I feel like they produced this better than the whole season, literally. It's like we could follow along. They had funny moments on the reunion. And again, I'm sorry, there's a narrative created by and being screamed constantly like she's Donald Trump by Amanda that Tori's fake. So all these little things that start like you see Amanda's face like,
I know.
Like, gotcha. Yeah. Bullshit that Tori's like the way it should be, like, yeah, ha 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 ha. We were bored and we checked. And with Tori, it's like, you're an evil, lying friend that got fessy sent home. You did this. It's like, what? These are friends that fighted and went insane of their own fucking accord. Again, we've all talked about this.
Where's that energy with Corey, Amanda?
It's the lighthearted treatment that it warrants of Corey and Tori starting it. And for Tori, it's like, shame. Apologize for your role in social misconduct. Like, I'm sorry, I regret it. I wish I didn't do it. It's like, I almost wanted Tori to be like, fuck you if you can't. Tori's nice and takes this stuff in and genuinely processes it and is like, I get why that's wrong and I apologize. I wanted to be like, fuck you. I said he ate your pizza.
Right.
But that thing I spun out of fucking control is not on me.
I think it was a learning lesson in hindsight. Like if I was Tori, I'd be like, damn, I'm not even going to touch that stuff anymore because look at what it led to. Like you went into it thinking, like Corey said, we instigated, we stirred the pot.
Like we're bored. We're stirring up drama because this is fucking boring. You're all
right.
boring.
I didn't say that he said he wanted to kill your whole family or you cheated on your
there was tension and we named it with a lighthearted, he ate your pizza. Beyond that, you guys need to take responsibility. And then if you guys ever been in a school situation, probably not in recent years, now they have shadow teachers, like for kids with emotional, like if you're on the spectrum or whatever, you could be a shadow. Like a friend of mine is an ABA therapist. It's like augmenting behavior, so when you're young and you're learning how to behave, the shadow will go, no, don't pick a fight. So I'm glad that Nani has now trained as Josh's ABA therapist and was there to let him know how not to engage in behaviors that are going to escalate to him losing his shit, which she displayed on TV tonight. Like, hold it. So what did we learn, Josh? We don't do that.
We don't like
the fact Josh didn't have an ABA therapist following him around, and maybe he needs one, but that's what caused it too. It's those people's own actions. They're the special needs people that took it to the next level. If a kid in kindergarten says, I want that block and takes it, they don't get sent home when the autistic kid goes crazy and tornadoes the rest of the classroom and cuts someone. That's that kid's problem. And Josh and Fessy were that kid that took it. Whoa, Tori saying, I want your block, he, not the cause of that. And everybody.
This is actually an example of what happens when people don't hash out problems, specific problems in a timely manner. For example, if someone does something that kind of pisses you off and you don't handle it right away, every single thing they do is going to make you mad. Like
it builds.
It builds. So they did not work through their problems. Therefore, pizza and like that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
It was as if Tori took. It was as if Tori took Josh's entire block tower and not just one block because it was building or whatever. Whatever. But that's Josh too.
Still, it would be inappropriate for Josh to kamikaze the rest of the kindergarten class, tear down the signs, and it's like still your outsized behavior in reaction is not the fault of the kid that as a 6-year-old ruined your block tower, which 6-year-olds will do.
Pam, I just love like your analogies and the way your brain makes these visuals in your mind. I think it's because you read a lot of books. You're a big reader. I just feel like I don't know. I love it. Like you think so creatively, with all of your little, with all of your scenarios. Okay,
I feel like it was bullshit again.
Let's talk about Amanda and Fessy now.
We need to talk about messy Fessy. That's the Christmas Carol. Messy, Fessy.
So does anybody remember?
Messy.
Does anybody remember the exact order of events that happened with him and Amanda? They talked about a couple different times they hung out. But then
the order of events is every time they got together, Fessy hooked up with another girl. That's it. Yeah. So it's like, Amanda, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but you should know better. By time 1 or 2, did you ever really see yourself being with Fessy for that long that it was worth going back to him every time? Like,
yeah, for the person that's screaming from the rafters about how she doesn't take any bullshit, it's like he cheated on her endlessly. he sucks also. It's like, he's so unlikable to me. I don't really get it at all. And fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times, fool me 4 times, fool me 19 times. Like, Amanda, stop taking him back. He's a shit.
Well,
go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Okay, why do you think Amanda kept taking him back? Well, the answer is, were they boyfriend, girlfriend? No, they were hanging out and hooking up. So they were never official. So did he actually cheat on her? Now, I'm not standing up for Fessy for what he did, because I want Amanda to be with someone that when she makes out with him, he only wants to make out with her. I want that, for her to find a nice guy or whatever. But they were never together. So this does Fessy is very messy here. But the reason Amanda takes her back, because I'm standing up for Amanda, is they were never together. They were having a good time. It's like, I want to have more of a good time with him. I know he keeps being a dick to me, but at the same time, we're never official. It's not like he told me we were official and then did it. So that's my point of it.
I think it seems like, and the reason he's a dog and it's rude, a few reasons. One is, I think it seems like he was singing a different tune to her, that he was acting as though he was pursuing her as his girlfriend. And each of these times were trying to win her over as his girlfriend. Not that they were mutually like, yeah, we'll hook up when we see each other. 2, take it outside of the freaking, don't hook up with everyone she knows. Fessy, go hook up with other people somewhere.
Well, he did. There was a girl at a bar apparently too. There are others.
With a bunch of challengers and people around filming. Like,
he was being textbook fuckboy. And yes, Dan, you're right that there are examples that can help Amanda in this situation, that vouch for her and where she's coming from. Because if you're just hooking up and it's casual and whatever, we'll make out here and there, we'll call, we'll text. Right. Then yeah, I guess, you can give that person another chance and say, oh, you want to be serious now. But I do feel a little bit as though the writing was on the wall from the beginning, and Amanda probably should have just had a little bit better foresight, and then she wouldn't have gotten hurt. However, it's easier said than done when you're the third party person looking in. So she has a different story to tell. She saw it differently from her shoes. Maybe she really, really liked him. And to Nelson's point is, she puts on the face, but she's actually really hurt. So I think to some point she did have like loving feelings towards Fessy, and therefore was blinded and was a lot more forgiving towards him than she should have been. But she just always preaches about like seeing through people and yada yada, and then she was in this situation. So he's just Fessy. I mean, if you're a single guy, that's one thing. You go out, you hook up, whatever. But also, like, you do look like a fuckboy dog in this situation, and you look so.
Well, that's exactly what he is. Ladies, how old is this guy? 28 years old as well. He's not ready for a relationship. He's on what used to be a hit reality TV show. He has people coming up to him all the time, basically saying, "Hey, you want to go to my bedroom?" So how is he supposed to? Because he's just not mature enough for this.
Pretend to be trying to be a boyfriend.
He says he's in. I get it. I get that. But he's called himself an idiot tonight, and he said that on national TV. Can't take that back. And he obviously
what would be his defense? There's no defense that he has.
There's none.
So he has to say he's an idiot.
No, but doing the like turning around and being, it's like, just leave it at that. You're an idiot. That's right. Leave it at that.
I think Amanda would be a great partner for him in the future. He's just not there yet. So he needs to leave Amanda alone, and because he did say, he's like, oh, I'm coming out to Denver. Oh, I already got my plane ticket. Oh, I bought us a trip to Mexico. It's already done. I already got it for us. So we're going, right? Like, he's throwing in, and Amanda's like, well, I want to go to Mexico with you and have a nice time. So it's hard. How does she say? I mean, she can say no to it, obviously, but at the same time, I do think Jenna's 100% right. There's a lot more feelings there on Amanda's side, that she is putting up that shield, as Nelson said, and doesn't want to let out. She just like, nah, he's just an idiot. No,
and
Amanda.
Sure, now that's there. He's saying more to her. The more obviously he's saying things to her that make her surprised. That
imagine if Amanda broke down tonight and cried and said how much she really liked Fessy. So we see Amanda full circle tonight, because I liked her already just for standing up for herself against Fessy, and just because Fessy's a dick, I didn't like what he did to her. But like, imagine if she went full circle on us, because Nelson, her only friend in the house, supposedly had to jump in and say, look, there's another side to Amanda you guys aren't seeing.
Nelson is a good friend. Yeah.
I do like Nelson and what he says in that regard.
But yeah, that would have been cool maybe to show another dimension to Amanda, because at this point, and listen, it's reality TV. Nuances are not exciting. 3-dimensional people that process things like adults are not exciting. Want dimensional pop off characters, and Amanda is that. So great, but yeah, it's just like there's a certain point where you can't process it as real anymore. It's like, you know, okay.
Nani and Casey, they do a big thing about how Nani's going to move to San Diego now. That was a nice moment.
Yeah, they were sweet the whole time. I mean, I really do.
But yeah, they didn't really add. I mean, Casey had a little fight with Amanda at the beginning, and Nani calmed down Josh. But besides that, they were kind of just there. But so that was their participation in moments.
Yeah.
This one killed me. This might have been my low of the night. Esther versus Tatcha. Oh, I wrote down no idea what's fucking happening. I don't remember that they had a beef or something. I was like, I cannot believe I'm watching this right now. There's no way if we weren't doing an after show for this, I would have fast forwarded whatever they talked about because I did not care. I was like, this is awful.
It wound up being that Tatcha's a clown, I think, a joke. And switch your hair to the back, switch your hair to the back. She wanted to say that. Well, Esther said, of course I tried to talk to you at the airport. I know you. Like, what? And Esther was like, I wanted to like be friends in real life because we know each other. What are you
But that's why this is so dumb. Like, what are these like little like 8-year-old children talking? I'm watching it's like, why am I being forced to listen to kids that are talking an 8-year-old conversation? Like, who would, as a 36-year-old, why would I listen to 2 8-year-olds talk? I would walk away from that situation. And yet we're talking about it right now.
Nani needs to josh them and sit down and go, Tatcha, we're not on a live boomerang. We don't want you to say switch your hair back and keep flipping your hair over and over while a person's trying to talk to you. Can you listen? Can you listen to Esther?
I watched Children last night. The hair thing, Pam, was my like, oh my God, this girl, I never want to see her face on TV or on Instagram again.
Either. No,
Jenna, I know you're standing up for Tatcha because she's on your fantasy, but like the hair thing. Tell me you stood up for the hair thing though.
Listen, Jenna. I thought she was a hard competitor during the show. I think she wanted to compete. She was trying really hard. I think from a competitive standpoint, it would be cool seeing her come back. Although I really do just want a season of like fresh meat. You know, we keep saying it. Yeah. So that's kind of my stance. Like if you're going to bring people back, I wouldn't mind seeing her again because I feel like she does want to compete and she was pretty well-rounded as a female competitor. But in the grand scheme of things, definitely want some regular us people, you know?
It's funny you mentioned fresh meat, Jenna, because I've been texting you ladies all week about that show on Netflix called 20 Somethings and how fantastic it is. Have either of you had a chance to start it yet?
No, not yet. I'm trying to watch movies. We only got 2 more days.
It's okay. You're right. And okay, so listen to this though. It's literally the real world. And every one of those cast members, if they had put this on MTV, you root for all of them now, and you would want to see every single one of them, maybe minus 1 or 2 of them, on the challenge for next season.
That's what they should do.
But if it's not an MTV show, we can't guarantee that all these people, because MTV's, we don't know if they're going to even take from that show. However, if we're an MTV show, they might take like 3 or 4 of them, like they used to take like the Portland cast. They take like 4 of them and just throw them into the next season of the challenge and see who sticks. Yes. They might take one of those people. Well, we don't know.
They need to take the Roaring 20s cast or whatever it's called now.
But it's not only if it was an MTV show, though.
It doesn't matter. They're Netflix. That's where the circle is. You can take them. They're neutral.
But they wouldn't take more than 1. That's my point, though. And if you got attached to them all on MTV, you'd want to see like 3 or 4 of them come on as fresh meat.
Fine, that's but they can do it. But this is what their problem is with the Tatchas of the world. Social media drama doesn't translate to like a plot. It's not enough of a storyline. Like you blocked me on social or said something shitty. That's it. It's like, that's the end of the story. Like, oh shit, sorry. And they're trying to bring that as like a storyline. Like, oh, remember when you said something to her and make that a fight that's hashed out on a season and on a reunion. It's like,
almost don't even understand the purpose of blocking somebody on social media. I've never done it. I've never had it happen to me. But then again, we don't live in a reality TV type of world, but it's just like, why?
I think it's a statement in their world.
It's a statement. It's just like, whoa, whoa. I don't know.
Normal people would do it so that they don't have to see that person's post for whatever reason that might be. But
Just
these
don't
people,
follow them.
these,
You don't need to like
these,
block them. I don't know.
fair
Unless
enough.
maybe they're being harassed. Maybe it's like stop
Shane
DMing me.
blocked me.
Right.
Yeah.
But these people do it so that they can tell all their other that their social media followers can go on there and see that they're not following them, and then get them to spread that word to Instagram or Twitter, somewhere, another platform, so that they are talked about. That's the only reason it makes no other sense. Because, like, again, we're not 8 years old. If you don't want to talk to someone, don't talk to somebody. And that's what this reunion was, a bunch of 8-year-olds arguing.
And
Yeah.
social media drama is fun and funny, but Jenna, to your point that you made earlier, that we're not like super involved in it, except if we go down a rabbit hole, because we have stuff that we do. But when I do, it always winds up being as thinly, it always is what it is. Like the most research you do, it never unveils some
crazy
let's
plot.
find out the beef of why Tori hates it. No, it's just she said shit about her. Then followers go, oh snap, oh bitch, oh look, Amanda
And
ruled.
so,
Like,
and I think
that's
that
what it is. It's
well,
just
and that's
people
why, Pam, I think that what we do as far as keeping up with Instagram ones like the Challenge Tea and MTV The Challenge and
We sum it
Challenge
all
Shade
for
Room, I think that that's plenty of what we do. Because what are we, as when we talk to everybody out there, we're not trying to take them down rabbit holes that lead nowhere. We're going to say, this is what we know so far, and do what you want with it. But we're not going to find like this ridiculous thing that someone else hasn't already found. So there's really no reason to waste our time when we have real jobs and people to hang out with.
Yes.
To do that
and
with. That's all.
Never anything there, unfortunately. That's the whole, it's like, oh, okay, so where did this originate? Was there a real fight? Did they have a relate? Nope. It'll be that Amanda wrote like, fuck you, Michelle. And then everyone said, oh, Amanda hates Michelle, and Michelle responds, and that's it. Like, that is what it is.
This is the sort of thing that, again, just reminds me so much of like a high school maturity level where we just got to handle things. I don't know, because
someone said,
yeah,
and then
it
find
gets
out what they
so
said.
blurry. It's also even like what happens with text message. Did you ever see that Key and Peele skit? It's so funny. And it's basically just like about reading text messages with your friends, where one friend is like, like, want to link up? You know, they're saying certain things and you're reading it as like, what did you just say to me? But it's not hearing the inflection in the voice, the delivery of it.
We all have it happen though. We read a text message one way and I'll read it again another way. I'm like, oh wait, I can read this 20 different ways. What do they mean by what they're saying to me?
Or it's like your boss just says to you like, K, and you're like, oh my God, I'm getting fired. But in their head, they're like, K, perfect.
Right.
But you just see K period. And you're
like, or they're like in the car when they wrote back K. Yes, yes. Write a full email.
When you ladies have a chance to watch 20 somethings, I won't give anything away, but there's literally like a little drama in the house, but it's handled in such a different way now with these newer age kids, whatever you want to call it, where they actually have like real conversations about what they're feeling. They talk about their feelings. And I don't always like that type of stuff. Like I kind of want people to say how it is sometimes instead of hiding it. But the way that they expressed themselves was in kind of a different type of mature way where it was actually nice to see, versus whatever we're watching on the challenge now isn't enjoyable anymore. So they need to do a brand new Real World where we can get the perspective of these new kids.
Yeah.
Refresh, because whatever's happening now is not fresh.
I have a fun
fact.
Fresh
me.
I have a fun fact on that. So my friend that created the 20-something show was almost cast on the Real World in the year 2001, I believe, because my roommate was his girlfriend, and she was like, I don't know, I don't want to be a squiggly line on the phone, like Zach's talking to Allison, like a squiggly line in marker pointed to the phone. So we should talk to him and find out how he feels about that, but I know he's invested in the Real World and likes the real, so he's almost on the Real World.
Yeah. That's amazing that your friend created that. Wow.
Yeah. So the other crazy thing about this that I think, like the Jersey Shore, which we really care about, those people have real relationships 20 years later. Like even the Tori Devon fight is stupid, but there's some investment there because there's something real. It's really hard to get behind Berna in tears because she's so hurt that CT and Emmy wanted to be partners. It's like they wanted to win, period. It has nothing to do with you, Berna. And then also I felt kind of like women, we need to do better in Michelle being so upset with Tori for hooking up with Emmanuel when she left. It's like, Michelle and Tori, did you ever speak? Like, why did you have any relationship? Why are you hurt by Tori as opposed to the guy you had a connection with? It's just like being upset with the girl and crying and feeling so hurt by that. And you didn't say anything to me when I was, it's like, what am I going to say to you? I don't, you know.
Yeah. There is the Tori, Devin, Emmanuel elimination. They do talk about that. And I forget what your opinions, ladies were on it, but I said that Tori should have sat there and just kept her mouth shut because of both. And that's what she admitted as well. And I was like, okay, so Tori gets it. She gets that it was a little, not the best look for her. How did you ladies feel about that whole, her admitting that she should have just time to not talk in that particular moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I really appreciated was Devin's response to it. And it's like, yeah, it happened, but there's not a single relationship or friendship on this show that hasn't had to deal with something like that. Like,
yeah,
nobody's perfect. And Tori, she kind of fucked up by helping Emmanuel, but you know what? I'm okay to forgive her and we can move on from it. It's just like, whatever, let's not even spend too much time talking about it. So I kind of like that. I like that they were still able to keep their friendship and not hold grudges over something that was kind of silly. But I mean, I don't know though, man. Like if I'm Devin, I might still be hurt by it because he very could have easily have lost that elimination, and that's what got him.
And I think that's why he's so chill about it, though, Jenna. He's chill about it because he won the elimination. Imagine if he did lose. Yeah. I think that would have caused a lot more drama in what we saw last night if he had lost that and Emmanuel went to the final for sure.
Tori learned from it, and she was like, you know what? I wish I never said anything, and I won't do it again because, yeah, I mean, if that is who you think is your good friend, even though she's hooking up with somebody else, I would definitely be like, damn, why are you helping the other person? Just shut up. Let us duke it out,
Just shut up is the intellectually smart, the logical, smart thing to do. And people that have good self-control, like CT, is like in that situation, I would have been like, And I was like, right. And Tori's natural response is like, cheer for everybody instead of no one, which is smart. It's to over cheer. Go Devin, go Emmanuel. She did the wrong thing. I agree. She agrees. We all agree. She should have been quiet, but I get it. You're emotionally.
How about this one, ladies? Big T versus CT, where Big T wrote some BS tweet, and this is all I wrote down for, and I'll let you girls talk about it after this. I wrote, CT don't give a shit about a stupid Big T tweet. He was like, I don't even know how to answer this. I don't even care.
He said, I have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah. He's like, I don't keep up with Big T and her freaking tweets. By the way, Big T, what a waste of space she was on that.
I love Big T.
Boom. There's a hot take for you.
I thought CT was a little disrespectful to her. It's like,
I loved it.
I get it, but it's a little cold. I get that.
I think he's over being associated with Big T. He's like, I don't care. I worked with her for one season because I had to. I was forced to work with this girl.
I agree with that, but I still feel like she's a person and she's nice and she deserves a little more.
She wants her storyline with me. I don't want to have a storyline with her. That's what it is.
No, my take on this in defense of Big T is she was asked a question.
Right.
She was asked a question on Instagram. Somebody asked her. So
don't answer it.
Hold on, I need water.
Don't answer it then if you don't want it.
No, Dan, she's answering a fan. Somebody DM'd her and said, hey, how do you feel about this? She has a feeling on it. She's allowed to answer that honestly. And I get where she's coming from. Sure, to CT, they worked together for one season. So yeah, maybe there's not that much water in that argument, but maybe there's not that much there, but to Big T, there could be, because that's how influential CT was to her. And that's the point, is she felt so hyped up by CT. She felt like she had someone in her corner. She had somebody that made her feel so confident. And then in a moment, in a light switch, he just ripped that rug from underneath her and changed. So you have to understand how that can play with somebody's emotion and like perception of themselves. For someone who's been on the show for so long, who's so amazing at this show, to be like, yes, you got this, you're into this, to then just turn around and be like, that never happened. We were never friends. We were, fuck it. Like pretend that never happened. To Big T, she's probably like, whoa, now I got to get my bearings. Now I got to
this is where I look to Big T and say, Big T, clearly you haven't ever watched reality TV before. And also, are you seeing it from the perspective that CT needed you so he could win?
Okay, because
that's the thing. Like, do you think that might have been why he was hyping up your non-athletic ass? Obviously, that's why.
Emotions are a fickle bitch.
I know, they're strong.
We don't ask
Jenna,
for them,
you bring that emotional side to this after show, and people are going to be loving everything you're saying. They're like, Dan has no heart. But you know what? I don't when it comes to this situation. I don't care.
Be more numb. I'm too emotional and sensitive, and that's what it comes down to. We really don't ask for them, but she felt a way. She felt good about herself thanks to CT, and just as much as he built her up, he ripped it down, and therefore that like fleetingness of how little attention he paid to her is what hurts her, and I get that. And she answered the question. She just answered a question. So like, you're right. We should look at it like in order to protect ourselves, we should be like, damn, they didn't give a fuck about me. Why am I even putting anything into this? Move on. Let me like pivot that, miss me. But at the same time, she's like, to be honest though, this did affect me. Therefore, yeah, I have a response to this. Someone asked me this question and this is how I feel about it.
I think it's an old, tired storyline that didn't need to be brought up this reunion because it didn't really have a place in this season. But I still think CT could have been a little more respectful. He was dogging. It's like he could have been like, like just said something.
Well, Pam,
reading between the lines, he really was like, you were nothing.
Yeah, he really, it was hurtful. I felt like it was hurtful.
Pamela, they had to bring up this storyline though, because Big T had nothing else to say the entire reunion. I don't hate to say it, but that's exactly what happened. She didn't talk. Anyways, I got a couple fun questions coming up for you ladies in a second. We have a couple little more storylines to talk about here. This one killed me too. So apparently Tatcha has a crush on TJ. I'm sorry. Who doesn't have a crush on TJ? But oh yeah, you need another storyline for Tatcha to talk. So you'll say that she's the one that has the crush on him. Every girl there is like, yeah, TJ's a good-looking dude, or we like him. He's fun. He's a nice guy. He did come in though, and he did join them for the reunion, which we've literally, I don't think, ever seen. I think actually that's not true. We saw him in the audience one time years ago. He was in the audience. I remember that. But like doing like a side table talk. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. That's phenomenal.
I do remember that.
Table, like TJ's final, TJ's table.
Yeah, it was TJ's table. It was something.
They even had poor Maria being like, in TJ's final.
That was like, Maria, I can't believe you went along with this. But hey, Maria, you need that paycheck.
That's that paycheck, girl.
You need it. So, I mean, was there anything so great? She likes TJ. What? I mean, I guess that brought TJ on, so we got that out of it. Like, he got to come on and respond to it.
Like, this is what I've been waiting to talk to Pam about. TJ gave us the best moment of the night where he had a shut up Josh moment. He literally said, Josh, shut the F up.
Yep. Josh, LOL. I was like, poor TJ being trotted out. He's like, hey, hi guys.
He's watching TV. He's like, oh, we're on, hold on. Okay,
they're like, yeah, who do you want? He's like, well, Josh, obviously, because he never shuts the fuck up.
He said Devin's a dick. He said Devin and Kyle. He made fun of them. That was good.
Yeah. No, it was great. I loved TJ. It was funny. He's cool. He's a cool.
He told them to get ready for next season. He has no idea what's going on for next season. He's like, yeah, get ready. He doesn't know yet. Ladies, tell me they're done with spies, right? We're no more spies, no more agents. Never again, right? Are we done with this? Can we get back to rainbow colors and just crazy colors? I want colors.
I want like a partnership season again. Like there's too much of all these like mixing, and maybe you have a partner now, but you could switch that and all this stuff. I'm like, I just like when it was the theme. They were rivals. They were exes. They were this. And you
nailed it. You nailed it, Jenna. If next season's not exes or rivals, first of all, they've only done 2 exes. They've done 3 rival seasons. They've only done 2 exes seasons. Why wouldn't they do exes 3? Everything's a trilogy. And you know what? I know it's been a very long time since exes 2. Who gives a shit? Give me exes 3 next season.
Everybody wants exes.
Like, why not take the chance, producers? You clearly know that your ratings are plummeting, not even just going down. They are plummeting. Why not just go for it? Balls to the wall, vaginas to the vaginas, and just literally give us exes 3. I know it doesn't make sense, Jenna, but I wanted to let everybody know some people have balls and some have vaginas. Let us do exes 3, right? Why not? Take a chance, because this other thing you're doing is not working.
No, and what I fear is that they've just given up and they are trying to get picked up in Romania cable, and they're going to keep bringing these international people that we've got no background on and don't care about to try and get MTV picked up in other countries.
Don't care. Yeah, yeah. Okay, great.
That they don't care about the ratings of
it does. It's not making for good TV. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, Team Bulgaria is like what they're shooting for next, and.
All right, ladies. I guess we can all give our thoughts on. Apparently, a musical artist performed last night, Emmy, and we can all talk about that. I have one comment on it, but I'll let you ladies go first. I guess. Go ahead. Have fun.
You know what? I thought her voice sounded better than the other time. So.
Okay, Pam.
Sounded better. I'll just sum it up with I quite liked Emmy last night. I gotta say, I don't know. I think I thought it was fun. I don't care. I don't even have.
Okay. Oh wow.
She had to take her shoes off. She was just like, "Here I am, world. I'm an alien."
Yeah.
You sound okay. Here we go.
I'm so alone.
Right here. I like it. Yo, if Lady Gaga put that song out, come on, it'd be a banger.
I'll say this though. Jenna, you just sang the song and you sounded as good as Emmy did. And that's not even a diss.
I thought she sounded better because Jenna doesn't have like
I'm an alien.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. That's my problem with it. If anybody can sing this song, then what is going on? But anyway, here's my only thought.
Ready?
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8. I'm an alien.
I'm an alien. All right, listen.
Dancers, I think.
Yeah.
Alien. I'm an alien.
What's it called?
All right, so hold on. This is all I got, ladies. Did anyone happen to catch Maria Menounos in the background? Like, oh my God, thank God this is almost over. Why am I during the song portion? She was like,
no, because I left the computer.
She's doing this like, oh God, this is horrendous. I can't believe
I didn't watch it. I walked by and saw them all in shirts. Like
honestly, it's something that we laugh at, but you never know. This might turn up on my workout playlist in a few weeks. Like I just gotta let the dust settle, and I might be like, I'm an alien.
I don't hate it, but I honestly couldn't give a shit. Like at that point,
right.
I don't care one way or the other at all.
Yeah.
All right. I just think she's like, oh my God, why did Kevin, my husband, get me this job? This is ridiculous. I have to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Maria. God, she doesn't age either. She just looks fan-fucking-tastic.
She looks absolutely gorgeous. And if y'all know, she's from Boston, Massachusetts, just like me. So we are repping the East Coast over here, and it's fantastic.
Yep.
All right.
She
that about wraps it up. Oh, no, I thought you.
Which I loved.
All right.
She's like, you wanted Logan in the house because you could control him. Like she didn't say that, but when she was like,
she told Fessy, she was like, Fessy, own up to your dirtiness.
Right. Yes. She was a good, she was great. She was like, yeah, you know, like you could tell she was neutral and a good host, but she was
definitely against what Fessy did, and she let it be known, and I loved it.
Robotic.
Yeah.
No.
She just
so a couple of
like, if I was ever on that stage, I'd be like, so what did you guys think?
Yeah, she was really she's a pro. There's a reason she's I
want to say that I could do a good job, but I'd have I would want to give my opinions on stuff, and I know I can't. So it would be a hard hosting job for me because I have too much skin in the game, if that's a phrase that can be used there.
It is.
All right. I wrote down a couple of things because we have to do this every season. How can we have a reunion without going over the number of cries this past evening? Do you have a number in your head of how many you think happened? I wrote every single person down. As soon as I saw a single tear welled up, I wrote their name down, and I have the total count for both of you. Give me a number.
Does it have to be a cry or just a teary eye?
Teary-eyed. I also counted teary-eyed because I'm sorry, but that is showing definitely some crying emotion. So I did that.
Okay, I have a number.
All right, you can go first. Give me your number.
6.
Pamela. You can go above.
I counted, but I might.
You can go above her though and say 7, or you can go below her and say 5. So you could win. I don't know which way you're going to win though. So you tell me.
I counted 5, but I'm sure I'm missing one. I'm just trying to flip through my mind real quick.
That was exactly my strategy. I counted 5 and then I added 1 for safety.
I'm gonna say 6-2 then with Jenna.
Can we
So
tie? Let's tie.
say the same.
Well, you can tie all you want, but now there's no winner. The answer is 8. So you were both very close. You did great.
Okay. So let's go. Let's count.
Let's go through them real quick. Emmy obviously cries. She got emotional about
that one.
Oh,
Yep.
grandma or something, Romania money.
I mean, just because she was on this. She was so happy to be a part of the show and win
Okay.
50 grand. That's what she was crying about.
Okay.
Casey and Nani both cry when they talk about their stuff. Tori actually cries when listening to the Nani and Casey stuff. They go, and she's literally very, very, you can very clearly see her dabbing a bunch of tears that are coming out when Nani and Casey are going.
Okay.
Josh cries thinking about the fact that he sent him home. Fessy. Amber B has Amber minus the B has a big cry about being upset with Casey over the Big Brother stuff. Michelle cries and says that she doesn't care about him anymore, but she still cries about the Emmanuel situation, which was ridiculous. She's like, I don't even care about this. I don't know why. Get out of here, Michelle. And Berna cries. I don't remember why.
She's so hurt by her sister Emmy lying to her.
And that is everybody. There you go. There's 8, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8.
Nice.
And then one more fun fact for you. If you were to do the math, who said the least amount during the reunion? Name that person, guy or girl.
Who said the least?
Logan! I didn't even know he was there.
Logan, Pamela, it was too easy of a question. You nailed it. It was Logan 100%.
I was like, Logan's there?
Because I said to myself,
little TV.
I said to myself, they invited way too many people to this reunion who had no storyline to hold themselves up.
Did Huey talk at all?
He had the one fight. He had the one fight where it was during the Amber fake portion of the night. We can talk about it briefly, but we went through it real quick.
Oh yeah, he said Amber wasn't fake.
He said Devin.
We talked about her.
Devin, Kyle, and Big T are the only people that did not call Amber fake. And then that's when Josh jumped in and said, dude, I didn't call Amanda fake or Amber fake, but whatever.
I want Nani to go, Josh, what do we do when someone says something that we don't think is true? We sit down.
And I felt so embarrassed for Josh because he handled it really, really adorably and well. But if I was Josh, I'd be like, okay, like I get it. I've messed up, but you don't have to patronize me, like make me seem like I'm fucking 6 years old.
But he might need her to do that, or else he'd lose his mind.
Yeah, Nani and him work together in the past.
Like, all right, Nani.
But they're close. Like he trusts Nani a lot. They work together. I mean, he carried Nani on his back while swimming in one challenge. Yeah, I remember.
So, and he needs a shadow behaviorist to follow him around, or he'll lose his mind.
Pam's still on the shadow behaviorist.
He's on the shadow behaviorist.
You've seen what happens when he doesn't have that.
I used to work with special needs. I used to work with special needs kids, and I was an assistant in the classroom. So we didn't call it shadow behaviorist, but that's basically what I was. I was assistant to the main teacher. Yeah.
To teach them like no,
right.
Even though you're like you don't have self-control and you want
you need an additional human there to work with you to work on your emotions so you don't disrupt the class.
How do we handle that? Okay, we're gonna breathe, then we're gonna go talk to Sally and tell Sally we don't like when she pulls our hair. We're not gonna bite her. We're gonna say, please don't pull my hair, Sally. And that's what Josh needs someone to do for him all the time.
All right. Anyways, that about wraps it up unless you ladies have anything else you want to talk about with the challenge reunion. We will Patreon. We're still going to be on Patreon. Probably going to start filming some episodes next week after all this holiday stuff's done for All Stars. So that'll be on our patreon.com/thechallenge-after-show. If you want to keep up with us with that, we'll probably try to put stuff on YouTube randomly, probably sporadically, just try to, keep the YouTube channel going until the next season. Maybe we could do a news and gossip thing on YouTube sometime for fun. I don't know, maybe later in the new year. We'll figure it out. But that wraps it up for 2021 for damn sure. So yeah.
It's a wrap 2021. Thank you guys for being with us this whole time. Really appreciate the views and the comments. The comments are fun because we feel like we know you guys. Like I definitely recognize the same people
for sure.
Certain things. And
how about those comments? We got like 130 comments last week on the finale. That's fantastic.
And it's also just appreciated to get your insight too. Everybody has a different take on things. We all have different opinions. So it's fun to you guys get really detailed with your comments. That's really great. And we appreciate that.
We love it.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps up season 37. Oh yeah, I think they did 20 episodes this season. Holy crap. Let's get it back down to, can we get 12 with a 13th reunion? So we want 13 next season, guys. Let's make it happen.
You can take 15 with the reunion.
20 is outrageous though, especially with the hour and a half. I know. All right, Jenna, you're signing us off. So there we go.
Yep. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's
Messy, 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 messy. Hashtag. What's our hashtag?
Well, you can hashtag any of our nicknames. You can hashtag Dashing Daniel. You can hashtag Jingle
Prancing Pam.
Jenna or Prancing Pam.
Jingle Jenna. Pringle Pam.
Pringle all the way.
Pringle Pam.
I got that's me and Jenna's celebrity reindeer.
Well, you could be Chris. You could be Chris Kringle. Yeah, Chris Kringle, Pringle Pam. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Goodbye.